All right, today's lesson, we are going to work on Hit the Road Jack. I'm going to show you quickly how to play it easy, but then I'm going to also show you how to do a more difficult version up the neck using bar chords. But this is the foundation for The Cat Came Back, which is an old kid song from the 60s or 70s, but it's also half of Stray Cat Strut uses this same thing. Feeling Good by Nina Simone uses this same exact chord progression, and there's a bunch of other songs that use them partially, and we'll get into that too. But let's start with Hit the Road Jack. So the easy way, we're gonna do it in the key of D. So we're gonna start with a D minor, all right, just a regular D minor, then a C. Now B flat is still gonna be a bar chord, and then an A7. Right, that's the easy way to do it. And if you want to spice it up a little bit, instead of just strumming once down, you can go down, up, down. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more, right? And that's the whole song for Hit the Road Jack. It's the whole song for The Cat Came Back, but it's only partial part of the song for Stray Cat Strut, and it's most of Feeling Good by Nina Simone, although it's played a lot slower for that one. All right, so let's get to the bar chords of it. Now, why would you want to do these bar chords? It's a different way of playing it, has different chord voicings to it. The other thing, it makes it closer to the original. Now, if you listen to all those songs I mentioned, it starts at a certain note and then goes down. Now, this is down the neck because the notes are getting lower, so that's down. But if you listen to all the songs, it goes dun, 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 and it gets lower and lower. So I'm gonna just play it for you so you can hear it. See how it sort of cascades down? So that's what we're gonna mess with. So the first chord, the D minor, this is a different way of doing D minor. You're gonna put your pointer finger across the 5th fret, and then you're gonna put your ring finger on the G string, giant cockroaches eat apples, G string on the 7th fret. And it should sound like this. Anytime you learn a new chord, pluck it out. Don't strum it out, pluck it out. Make sure all 4 notes are ringing out. If not, adjust your finger a little bit. You don't have to lift it off, and just adjust your finger a little bit. With bar chords, you want to put your finger as close to the fret as possible without getting on top of it. All right, and then add that. You want rainbows and bridges here, right? So your finger's going over the other strings, not laying down. You don't want any of the other fingers touching the other strings. All right, so we're gonna use this structure all the way down the neck. So this is a D minor. And now we're gonna move it down 2, or a whole step, or 2 half steps. 1, 2. Now your pointer finger is going to be on the 3rd fret, and your ring finger is going to be on the 5th fret. But we've got to add this middle finger to the 4th fret of the C string. That makes it a major shape again. When we were doing this, that's a D minor. That's a minor shape. Anywhere you put this on the whole neck, the chord is going to be a minor. But now we're adding, once we get to the 3rd fret and the 5th fret, we're adding your middle finger on the 4th fret of the C string. That makes it a major shape. Anywhere on the whole fretboard, it's always going to be a major shape. And how can you remember that? It's the A shape moved up with barring that. So this is an A, right? B, C, right? So that's one way of trying to figure it out. Remind yourself that this is an A shape, right? But moved up the neck to the 3rd fret makes it a C major chord. All right, now we're going to use the same shape. We're going to move it down 2 more right there. This is a B flat. Now, some people do a B flat like this, but because we started down here with that D minor, we had to have our finger at least 3 strings across. I always recommend to just do all 4, unless there's some particular reason, like the chord afterward, you don't want your finger there. But I just say, go ahead and leave it there. So now our pointer finger's on the 1st fret, our ring finger is on the 3rd fret, and our middle finger's on the 2nd fret of the C string. Now the last one is an A7, and usually we do an A7 like that, right? But your middle finger is already on the right string, and we're already sliding everything down, so just go, right? So all right, does that make sense? Sorry. And that's an A7. Anywhere on the whole fretboard with that shape is going to be a 7th chord shape. All right, so let's go back. This is a D minor. Move 2 down. Plant your middle finger on the 4th fret. Move 2 more down. Now it's a B flat. And then for an A7, lift up your pointer and pointer and ring, and then leave your middle finger on there. All right. All right, at any time, if your hand starts really hurting, give it a break. This is bar chords. This might be different muscles than you're used to using, and you'll start to feel it right here, all the way to your arm. So your fingers, your hand to your arm. So with songs like these, practice just a little bit every day. It'll strengthen up those muscles, and eventually you'll be able to do it. And the whole song is just those 4 chords. So once you get down here to the A7, already start looking to where you're headed back, because you're not going to have time to go 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to have to go to that 5th mark. Most ukuleles have markers at 5, 7, 10, and 12, right? Mine happens to have one on the 3rd fret. Not all of them do. And then also I'm on a tenor. So after the 10th and the 12th fret, some sopranos would not have a marker on the 12th fret because that's your last fret, but then I have one at 15, all right? So, but use these to help you navigate the fretboard. So once you do that, already start looking to where your pointer finger is gonna go. And then remember, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Whole song is exactly that, right? So practice that little bit at a time, little bit every day. You'll start to get it, and you'll start to hear it. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. All right? For practice purposes, you could just do 1. That'll work too. All right, but now I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of Stray Cat Strut using the same thing, right? It's the same thing. I'm not changing anything. Black and orange stray cat sitting on a fence. Ain't got enough dough to pay the rent. I'm flat broke, but I don't care. A strut right by with my tail in the air. Now that is the bridge. I mean, that's the verse. When it gets to the bridge or the chorus, it does change to G minor, F, E flat, and D7. And I'll show you that real quick. It's really not part of this lesson, but since we're already here. So a G minor, an F, and E flat, we're going to do it right here. This is what I call a pinky D. Moved up one is an E flat. Pointer finger across the 3rd fret, pinky on the 6th fret of the A string. All right, and then it goes to a D7, which you can do like that. Now, if you're interested in bar chords, you can go down. If you notice, it is walking down. In the first section, it goes D, C, B flat, A. In the alphabet, it goes down, right? It's doing the same exact thing here, except for now it's G minor, F, E flat, D7, right? So there's a couple of different things you can do. You can find a G minor. So we already have a D right here. So if you move it up 2, that's an E. And then you move it up 1 more, that's an F. And 2 more, that's a G. Now for that last chord, remember I was saying that anywhere on the whole fretboard, if you do this shape, it is a 7th chord. That's what you're doing. That D7 is now right here. All right. So 10th and 12th fret, pointer finger get the 10th fret, move it down 2. All right. So it is the same technique that we just learned here. That's why I wanted to go into it, even though it's not exactly the same. It is the same shape. This shape right here is the same shape that we were using for D minor, but we're using it all up here. Then we're adding our middle finger, just like we did for the C chord here. And then the last chord, we're only using our middle finger. All right. Straight cat strut, I'm a ladies' cat. Feeling Casanova, hey, that's that. Got a shoe thrown at me by a mean old man. I get my dinner from a garbage can, right? Same technique. All right, so that's that whole song. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There is one more section. I don't bother chasing cats around. We're not going to get into that because that's not part of what we're doing today. But there is 3 sections to that. All right, so let's go back to the original walk down. Somewhat, this one you might not know, but it's called The Cat Came Back, and it has 9 verses of different ways that a cat should have died, but then didn't. Oh, Mr. Johnson had troubles of his own. Had a yellow cat, wouldn't leave his home. He tried and he tried to give the cat away. Gave it to a man going far away. But the cat came back the very next day. And the cat came back, thought it was a goner. And the cat came back, just couldn't stay away. Meow. Anyways, so that is another song that you could use the same technique on. All right, here's another one. Feeling Good, Nina Simone. The good part of this, that it is slower. The bad part of it, it is slower. So you don't have to move as fast, but you've got to hold those chords out a little bit longer and leave the tension on your hand longer. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Reeds drifting on by, you know how I feel. So it's all the same right there, right? Now for the last, there's 5 lines in every verse. For this one, on the 4th line of every verse, it does this thing. It uses the same chords that we just used, except for it walks it back up a little bit, back down, and then back up, and then back down again. So let me show you that. I'm going to do the 3rd line. Reeds drifting by, you know how I feel. It walks right back up to a B flat. It's a new dawn. back down to an A7, a new day. Then it walks all the way up to a C, new life for me. Really quick, B flat, A7 for me, and I'm feeling good. So it's the same, but a lot slower. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. Rivers running free, you know how I feel. Blossoms on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. So that's basically that whole song. It doesn't have a bridge or anything else going on there. It's just exactly that every single time. Now at the end, I think they just sort of sit on this as they're riffing on different things. But there you go. So, all right, there are a couple other songs I'm going to throw in there. It's already a 16-minute video, but here's some other songs that you can investigate if those songs aren't doing it for you. The song that I do by Herb Oda Sr. is Body Surfing. Now, when I'm playing, I'm doing that over it, but it's doing the same chord progression, but it's stretched out. It's D minor, C, B flat, A7. It's actually A7. Same chord progression, right? China Girl by David Bowie. During parts of the song, it uses that same chord progression that we were just messing with. And then Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys uses that same chord progression at the beginning of the song. Let's see if I can remember. It might be out of my key because they're singing so well. Love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. Now they're doing the same thing that the Herb Oda did on Body Surfing. They do an A for half of it and then an A7. Sound of a tempo word and the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. And then it goes to I'm picking up good, which is a totally different chord progression. But the beginning of it is identical. Happy Together. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. Same chord progression right there. Hazy Shade of Winter. I don't really know this song that much, but it is the same chord progression. What is it? Time, what's become of me? While I look around, I'm singing Good Vibrations vocal line, but it is the same chord progression: D, C, B flat, and then it goes to an A minor instead of an A7. So instead of going to that A7, it's leaving that. All right, and then it walks back up to the C. But it's a lot of the same chord structure. Holding Out for a Hero, the 80s, the 80s hit by Bonnie Tyler. Where have the good men gone? Where have all the gods? Where the streetwise Hercules fighting the raising odds? And she's doing, or they are doing an A there instead of an A7 or an A minor. And I think it changes later on. It does an A sus4, but anyways, that's a good start for you. Please don't leave me. Please don't let me be a misunderstood. This one I'm not really. I know I've heard it a million times, but same chord progression. It's not the whole song, but it is a lot of it. And then Runaway. As I walk along, I wonder, we belong with my love that was so strong. Right? So I think that's, here's another one, 16 Tons. A lot of people say, 16 Tons is just like Hit the Road Jack, it only is for one line out of four. It is similar all the way through, but sort of like the Feeling Good, how it comes back up and goes back down and does different things. This is sort of doing the same thing. So when you're playing that, it uses the same chords as long as it's in the key of D minor, but it does different things. So just keep that in mind. Sultans of Swing uses the same chord progression too. So if that's a song you're interested in learning, you've got a great head start. All right, well, that's it. Holy cow, 20-minute video. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Great job. If you have any questions, let me know.